All right. Well, hey, here we are. Apologize in advance. I'm about a hot mess here. So the plan was that I was going to be at Starbucks today, and I was going to do the show from there. But turns out I've been sick all week, and around Tuesday, got my butt kicked by a serious amount of fever, and not hospitalizing worthy, but enough that I had a nice long 11-hour nap Tuesday into Wednesday morning. And so here we are. Instead, not live from Starbucks, uh, like I had originally hoped, but I still wanted to show up because I said I would show up. And so I wanted to show up for you. Um, and more importantly, I wanted to show up for me. And I'm a firm believer that not only in finance, but in life, consistency and discipline and showing up and doing the things you say you're going to do one way or another um, matter and are the things that are foundational that make the difference. So I appreciate if you're there go my bells. So it's apparently 6 o'clock. Um, so if you are watching this live, welcome. And if you are watching this on replay, then I certainly hope that I can catch you live on the next one as well. Uh, so this week, let's not waste any time. If you're here, it's probably because you've got something that feels a little off with your money, is my guess, uh, based on the topic that I threw out there as far as the title goes. Um, Look, I'm sure that the average person out there makes decent money and but still feels like there's never enough. When I say decent money, uh, you don't have to be making $100,000 a year. If you're making 15 to $20 an hour, it you're not going to get rich overnight by making 15 to $20 an hour, but you damn sure can get rich over the long haul. It just requires a plan. It requires a system. It requires you being intentional with what it is that you're doing. And that's where I can help you. So here's the truth. There's there's what I like to refer to as four major money leaks that keep people broke. And most people have at least two or three of these things going on. And some have all four. There's either no spending plan, right? So you're not bad with money. You're just winging it. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. Just kind of going through the motions. Don't know how much your bills are. Don't know where you're leaking money left and right. Uh, you don't give every dollar a job like you should. Uh, and so your money, like human nature, gets lazy, right? So you got to give a job to every dollar you got because if you don't, they'll become little disobedient turds. The second one is no emergency buffer. This is the big one because eh, I apologize again for all my sniffles and I'm sucking on a cough drop so I don't have to cough in your ear. I apologize. Um, Not having an emergency buffer. Look, flat tires happen. Um, I just had a phone call from my mechanic that said one of our cars is going to require a catalytic converter. That's $300. No, 500. Um, Stuff happens. And I promise you, it's going to continue to happen. Always, always. Like something's coming around the corner. If it's a sunshiny day today, trust me, there's going to be a rainy day. It may be tomorrow. It may not be next week. Uh, it may be a year from now. You just don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes it's a torrential downpour. Let's be honest. So having that emergency buffer really matters. But if you don't have that buffer, you start borrowing from your future just to survive the present. And that doesn't really help. Um, Number three is emotional spending. We all do it to at least a small degree in one way or another, right? Um, I mean, the running joke in the financial community is if you cut back that latte you're having every day. By the way, I got my coffee. I hope you got your coffee this morning. Um, and the deal's still on, by the way. If you can show me from this morning between 6 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. a time-stamped receipt from Starbucks, message me and I will Venmo you $4 for your coffee, like I promised. Uh, Only to the first two receipts that I received. But anyway, let's jump back. So, emotional spending. You had a bad day? You want to go treat yourself. You had a good day? Yeah, let's go buy something to reward yourself. It's easy to do. It's easy to get caught up into. Uh, you don't have a money problem. You have a coping problem if that's the issue. And I've been there and I've bought some dumb shit, trust me. Or the fourth issue that you might run into is that you have disorganized debt, right? You got like 7 different payments and no idea which one is killing you fastest. That's a problem. You need to be organized with what your debts are, and figure out your plan of attack to eliminate them. At least get them under control. So those are the 4 Bs. I mean, if you can start attacking those 4, you're going to make a world of difference in your finance. So um, you can already see where your leaks are if it's in any one of those 4. And that's why it feels like you're drowning, because the boat is leaking. Let's be honest. And no one ever handed you a patch kit. And again, that's one of the things I do with the clients that I work with. Is I help them figure out how to not only patch that boat, but get it back to shore and get it in tip-top shape so it becomes seaworthy again. Yeah, some of my old Navy terminology coming out. So here's what I help people do, and what you'll get more of in future sessions of Cash Class Live. I help them build a spending plan that's realistic and gives back control to you over your money. Help you start by figuring out how to set up an emergency fund, even if it's just $100. You got to start somewhere. And that's with everything in finance. You have to just start somewhere. I started this whole journey of investing for my finances 30 years ago with just $10 every pay. The littlest amounts. It's like exercising a muscle. It's like me showing up today, even though when I was feeling sick and I said I was going to be at Starbucks and I really didn't want to turn on the camera, but here I am. You got to just do it. You got to do something. I apologize. I told you there was going to be coughing and sneezing and sniffling. Automate the hell out of your system. That is one of the biggest keys, in my opinion. Automate everything that you can that makes sense, your finances. And here's another thing I help people do. I help them kill debt with a snowball method. Smallest to largest gives you real momentum. I've done it personally. It works. I continue to do it in ways that helps keep us on the right track. But the first step to all this is awareness. Most people are losing hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month without even realizing it. And that's your first challenge. It's real simple. This week, every dollar, track it. That's what I want you to do. Not forever, just for this week. 7 days. Take 7 days and track your money. There's no judgment, no calling out, no guilt. Don't worry about it. We need data. Data, without tracking, you can't fix anything. What gets measured gets improved. Bottom line. So that's your challenge for this week. Track everything that comes in, track everything that goes out. It's annoying. It's a pain. If you want to fix the problem, this is what you need to do. Because you can't change what you don't see. Next week's topic, just in case you are interested in giving it a whirl and coming back next week, I'd love to have you back. Where the hell is your money going? So we'll take a look at tracking for the 7 days and categorize things. We'll break it down on how to categorize your money, how to categorize your spending, find your money leaks, and fix them fast. That's really what's important here. So I hope that you'll join me. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess. I'm a hot mess. I'm so sorry. I hope you join me, and I hope I feel better next Saturday. If this helped you at all, even just a tiny bit, or you see the potential through my sniffles and my coughing that future sessions could help you, I hope that you will stick with this. Look for my upcoming posts. And this is just the beginning. Cash Class, I'm still working on saying it well. Cash Class Live is something that I've been thinking about for quite a while. I've worked with a couple of friends on developing this. I just want to give back because, look, I'm good. I'm in a position where I don't have tons and tons and tons of money I can blow on Lear jets and crazy vacations and give away millions of dollars. But at the same time, my family's finally in a position where we have the freedom to make decisions. That doesn't mean there aren't stressful times with money, because there is, truthfully. Even just as recently as yesterday, we were talking about some stressful things about money. But the difference now versus 10, 15 years ago, we have margin and we have the ability to make adjustments and deal with the challenges that face us. 15 years ago, our challenges that we were discussing yesterday, they would have been a disaster. And we went through that about 15 years ago. So a little more, maybe 17. Anyway, enough about me. I just hope to see you back. If you're watching this live, I thank you for joining me. If you are watching this on replay, I'll be back again next Saturday, 6 a.m. I'm hoping it's at Starbucks. By the way, no endorsement from Starbucks whatsoever. I just like my Starbucks. And no, I refuse to give them up because I don't have to anymore. And I want you to get to that point as well. So until next week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Track those numbers, cash in, cash out, jot them down, put them on your device, write them on a piece of paper. Don't care how you do it. And let's meet back next week and discuss.